We've been doing this series on the reasons why we suffer vocal cracks and breaks. And in this video, I'm going to talk to you about the vowels that will always support certain modes of thick fold registration. So we have lots of different names for these noises. So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to use the terminology that they use at Complete Vocal Institute in Copenhagen. Their framework is called Complete Vocal Technique, and I have found their way of thinking about the voice to be super helpful. So I recommend their resources to you. If you just Google Complete Vocal Technique research, you can get access to their entire research site for free. They give away so much of the information, and they're just fascinating people. I love their value for egalitarian teaching. They have a humble spirit that is always curious in their research, and their commitment to artist-led training it's really transformative. I studied with them March of 2018, and it was a truly life-changing experience for me as a singer and as a teacher. So I recommend them to you. So Complete Vocal Technique, they talk about sounds having certain degrees of metal, or if a sound is metallic. Metallic is really any sound that is a result of hard surfaces in the vocal tract creating high and bright acoustic effects and overtones. For example, your teeth, your hard palate, and the cartilage of your epiglottis are all surfaces that, when leveraged, create bright metallic sounds. You can think about those surfaces analogous to stone or glass in a room, whereas the surfaces of your vocal tract that are softer, such as your cheeks, your tongue, your pharynx, your soft palate, and your lips, these are all warming or even muffling surfaces, and you can link those to things like curtains, the carpet, or foam on the walls, any sort of muffling things that you can imagine in a room, in an acoustic space. So in CVT, they talk about two metallic modes. One they call overdrive, and the other one they call edge. I'll start with overdrive. Overdrive is a shouty mode. It has a very open and yelled quality. And the vowels that love overdrive the most are e and o. So overdrive sounds like this. O, a. You hear overdrive a lot in low frequency voices. You hear overdrive a lot in old school Broadway belting. If you hear someone modifying an E vowel into an A vowel, they are either electing or stuck in overdrive. If you hear someone modifying an oo vowel to an o vowel, then the same thing is happening. They're either choosing to stay in overdrive or they are stuck in overdrive. So that sounds like, say if I were to sing with me, but I was belting it a little higher and I sang, instead of with me, I sang, with me, or with me. Both of those are overdrive sounds. That's a very open tube. So that's overdrive. And like I said, the vowels that like overdrive are A, and O. All right. The other category of metallic singing that CVT classifies, they call edge. And edge has a brighter color. It is sharper in character. And the reason it's sharper in character is because it is marked by adding twang or distinct twang. And twang is a very specific term they talk about in CVT, which means the narrowing of the aryepiglottic sphincter, which is right above your vocal folds. If you have your epiglottis sitting here, that leafy shaped cartilage that folds down when you swallow, the epiglottis, literally over the glottis. And you have your arytenoid cartilages. Those are the cartilages that sit at the back of your vocal folds. So when the epiglottis and the arytenoids come closer, right above the vocal fold level, they reduce the amount of space right above the vibration of your vocal folds and therefore create smaller space, therefore compression, because the sound waves that have just been created by your vocal folds go through that sphincter that's been closed a little more, and they go ding, 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 and there's all kinds of acoustic bounce, therefore vocal amplification. To understand this, it's good just to hear the differences. So both overdrive and edge, they share the vowel eh. Okay, so I can go, hey, and I can go, hey, hey, hey. I am twanging that vowel. So the difference between the two, overdrive, a, and a. The second one is twanged, and the twanged one is in edge. Edge likes 3 vowels. They are A, as in Canadian A, I, as in sit, but it's a more forward I vowel, like bitte in German, and A, like cat or sat. So those 3 vowels are the ones that support edge. They can also be blended. So if I round my lips with an E vowel, E, U, it becomes that. A lot of times in high squelting, you'll hear ew. That's an I vowel in my mouth with rounded lips. Or if I have an E vowel in my mouth and around my lips, it turns into So that can also remain in edge. So it's the same vowel in my mouth. I'm just rounding my lips to blend it. So edge we hear all the time, especially in contemporary musical theater. And when we joke about squelting, that is edge. That mode is edge. This is where theater singers really get confused, because we hear from so many well-meaning coachy folk that theater singing is vernacular, and it is vernacular, and we get told that we need to sing like we speak. So then we dive into this material and try to use the same vowels that we speak with to sing with, and it doesn't work, because we have to use vowels that acoustically agree with the modes we're trying to sing in. I'll give you 2 examples from musical theater, one using overdrive and one using edge. The first one is the passage from I Dream to Dream, where she sings "As They Turn Your Dream to Shame." So she climbs the scale from E flat to B flat. So that is well within the safety zone of overdrive. Really, overdrive doesn't go above a D5 for a treble voice. So you're still within that cushion of safety for overdrive. So she sings, "As they turn your dream," and she sings "to shame." So that's overdrive. Hey, as opposed to a, right? So she goes shame. That's still a very open quality. That's overdrive. An example of edge, the first one that comes up for me, it's always Wicked. So let's see. The Wizard and I, when she gets there at the end, I just love singing Wicked. So let's see. When she gets to, and I'll stand there. What key is she going into? Oh yeah. So she's transitioning into here. Yeah, and you know, people opt up there too. So there, and I'll stand there with the Wizard, all right? She's going into the key of B, so right here is an example. If you try to use the same vowels you speak with, you're not going to make it. The vowels you would need to use are Your edge vowels are I, yeah. So if I've got, and I'll stand there, and I stand there with the wizard, it will sound like and I'll stand there with the wizard. Yeah. So that's, and I stand there with the wizard. And then feeling things I never felt. And then really at the end, when she's got, for half of Oz's favorite teams. When you get to favorite team, if you sing an E vowel on an E5, it's either going to flip into mode 2 head voice or it's going to squeeze real bad, yeah? So that's going to be for half of Oz's favorite team. That is an I vowel. And I feels tricky in edge. It's a thing to learn, yeah? So if I've got for half of Oz's favorite team. So that's tame, yeah? So the wizard and I. Yep, those are the vowels for edge. That's what's going on there. So that gives you an overview of how these two modes of understanding or naming these two modes helps in knowing what vowels are going to serve you when you are in the trickier and thicker parts of your voice. If you are thicker registration, I'll say, of your voice, if you're moving, say, from C4 to C5, just practice how these vowels will help you navigate all of the space. I think you'll be surprised to see how they assist you in maintaining registration. So if I go so it's your basic Scrotland, yeah. And then but even I can take that same vowel and change the phonatory pattern a little bit to so is still serving me there, yeah. Two different ways of moving the breath and vibrating, and same vowel is serving me. So the A vowel will support me and help me maintain registration throughout. Just to review, you've got overdrive land, that's A, O, and then you have the edge vowels, edge marked by more twang, which is when the aryepiglottic sphincter and the epiglottis and the arytenoid cartilages come closer together, right over the folds, and that creates more of a that sound. So there's much of contemporary musical theater now lives in edge, from, well, even just thinking of music, from Journey to Pavarotti to Whitney Houston, edges all over the place. Tina Turner was an edge all the time. So keep an ear out for those distinctions. I think if you know which mode you're in, it's so helpful to understand, number one, what vowel you're using, and number two, how you want to navigate certain phrases and mode changes. So that'll give you a good overview of those two categories of metallic singing, overdrive and edge. I'm going to do a video about navigating your transitional zones, or your passaggi. Yeah, because that gets really tricky, and we perceive our voices having these tricky transitional zones, and we even say things like, that's the break in my voice, when really it's just where your voice transitions. I don't like thinking of the voice having a break. Your voice isn't broken. That's just my own personal semantic preference there. And I'm also going to do a video for you that will teach you an exercise that will demonstrate the continuum quality of your voice, that how you can go from thin fold to thick fold, so that you are not seeing different ways of vibration as different vocal planets, that you're seeing them really linked up and as more of a weight sharing coordination, that instead of different universes of sound. So that'll help you, that'll get you a long way, and that'll help you with your songs where you might be struggling. And so just ask yourself, am I in edge or am I in overdrive? If you're in a thick fold metallic mode, Am I in edge? Am I in overdrive? And therefore, what vowels do I need to employ here to help me? And experiment. Record yourself. It's going to sound weird in your head when you start to do new things, and it's going to sound different. So endure the discomfort of that new sensation. Record yourself. Go back and listen and see what it sounds like on the outside. And I think you'll be surprised at how leveraging these acoustic vowels in these modes will help you. And reach out if you have questions about this. If anything doesn't make sense, you can always email me, dan@dancalloway.com, and just visit me on my website. Reach out via email. All right, there you go. Edge and overdrive. Now go try it out. Go sing. Bye.